Alright, hey guys, so this is Kyle here. I want to talk about one video game that a lot of you guys may have played it, may not, but I just kind of want to talk about it, even though I'm not even a little bit late, but way over late, because information about the game has been out since late last year, 2011. And that is the new Devil May Cry game, or it's abbreviated as DMC. Now, Devil May Cry, and just to give you an illustration, this is the Devil May Cry series, the trilogy. There's 4 installments of Devil May Cry, but this is the first 3 trilogy of the Devil May Cry series in HD collection. Devil May Cry being made by Capcom, the same company that makes Street Fighter and the Resident Evil series, and a lot of other big marquee names. Devil May Cry is another one of their top best-selling series, video games. Devil May Cry was really a first game of its kind, because when Devil May Cry 1 came out, which I believe was in 2001, it was the very first hack-slash stylized game, and that you get ratings and stuff on your stylized action and combos and whatnot. So it's really the first game of its kind. Now, the new Devil May Cry series is being made by a new developing company. Another developing company called Ninja Theory, which is a European game developing company. I believe Ninja Theory, don't quote me on it, but I believe Ninja Theory also made the Ninja Gaiden series. I could be wrong about that. I think I am wrong about that. Don't quote me on it. But Ninja Theory is a well-known game developing studio, because they have made some other they've made some well-known games out there. So Capcom sold not all the rights completely, but they sold a good portion of Devil May Cry to Ninja Theory. Reasoning for them selling most of the rights of Devil May Cry to Ninja Theory was because Ninja Theory, Capcom made a statement saying that they wanted to broaden the American fan base of the Devil May Cry series. Yeah, that's pretty much what this just pretty much summarized it as. They want to open up the fan base of the Devil May Cry series, and for the Western audience. And in my opinion, I think it's kind of stupid, because Devil May Cry has a wide Western audience that are loyal to the game and loyal to the series. Devil May Cry has a cult following fan base. And when people use the term cult following fan base, that always means it's a loyal fan base, but the fan base is small. In Devil May Cry's case, not really small. Devil May Cry has a loyal fan base, but it's also it's a large cult fan base. So, even though it's more highly reviewed in Japan than it is here in the U.S., the Devil May Cry fan base is still, I would say, in the western part of the world, is just as large and loyal than the Japanese fans of the series. So a lot of Devil May Cry fans, such as myself, who were loyal to the series, when we heard this, we got pissed off, we got ticked off about the game. And then Ninja Theory began to make all these different types of changes to the game. I'll get to the most notable one. But one of them was that they made the statement saying that this is a reboot, that this have no connection to the last Devil May Cry game, which was Devil May Cry 4, which came out in 2008, saying this is a reboot. Pissed fans off. They're like, what? A reboot? We've just spent, from 2001 to 2008, 7.5 to pretty much 8 years on 4 installments of the game. They mean to tell me we don't get a continuation, we just get a reboot, we're starting over. So people were pissed off at that. Then Ninja Theory made a statement saying, well, it's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be, now they're saying it's a parallel alternate universe where it has no connection to the original series. It's just an alternate parallel universe of Dante, which I still think is stupid. They might as well just do better just calling it a freaking reboot than to say an alternate universe or whatever. But the biggest the biggest flaw came in when the biggest problem came in when they redesigned Dante's look. Dante looks like a freaking emo kid. I don't care what anybody says. This pissed everyone off completely. Dante looks like your average high school, college punk rock kid. That's how he looks. And, you know, you look at Dante, and Dante is just a bad dude. To me, Dante is one of the best, if not my top #1 favorite video game character in, like, gaming history. Dante's personality, his image, his look, everything about him says badass. And you take this badass character and you make him your average high school looking kid, you know, where he looks like what's the guy that played oh god, the guy that played Spider-Man in the new Amazing Spider-Man movie, Andrew Garfield. You have him look like an Andrew Garfield. It's like, what the hell are you doing? It's like you went from this to this. You know, you went from this awesome rebel of a man to this little bitty high school squirmy, skinny kid. People get pissed off. Now, unrightfully so. For as much as people hated Ninja Theory for this, I think most of the blame really needs to go to Capcom, because originally Ninja Theory did make a, they did give Dante his iconic grayish white hair, and Dante did have similar looks to how he looked in the original series, but Capcom refused to turn it down and said, no, we don't want your Dante to look anything like or have any remnants of the original Dante, so redo the design completely. So they had to end up doing the redesign and redesign Dante into what he looks like today. So in a case like that, I really don't blame Ninja Theory too much. I think most of that goes to Capcom, because they said themselves they did want the new Dante for the new Devil May Cry series, they did want him to look similar and close to how he looked in the original game, but Capcom shot it out of the air and said no. So we get the look that we have here, which I'm still trying to get used to. Okay. So basically, the new Devil May Cry series is taking this series here of Devil May Cry, but putting a Western twist on it. So basically, you can pretty much say that the new Devil May Cry is going to be Devil May Cry, but this is how Devil May Cry be made, but with an American, well, not American, but a Western studio. So if a Western studio came up with a concept for Devil May Cry, this is what it looked like, this is how it'll be. Now, the story itself just pretty much says that Dante is 20 years old. For some reason, the demons or whatever, they're hunting him. And Mundos, who was the head devil boss you fought in Devil May Cry 1, is a human in this game who thinks he's a god or something like that, or thinks he has the likeness of a god. It's also being said that Dante's brother, Virgil, will be in the game. How big or small this role will be, if he'll be a playable character at all, is still unknown. So the story itself is still kind of iffy. I'm scratching my head at it. It really has no main point or plot to it, because the original story of Devil May Cry is that Dante is half devil, half human, and he's a devil hunter. He hunts devils to protect humans in the human world. So he hunts devils for a pay. He's a bounty hunter pretty much, but he just kills demons. That's pretty much the main thing of Dante. So the story here was supposed to be an alternate universe. Kind of really doesn't make sense, yet alone not enough information for you to really get into what the story is really about. So the story itself, in my opinion, is just one big question mark at this point until it's released. Visually, now the game looks sweet. The game does, the style, the way it plays, does look like it plays homage to the original Devil May Cry series in terms of its style of play. Visually, the graphics look good. They're using an Unreal Engine 3, which is, well, what most games now use anyway, but it looks fantastic on this game. Really pushing, the 360 or the PS3, I think, to the limits with this game. So the visual looks fantastic. Now, for as much as the character design was a bit of a letdown for the original Devil May Cry fans, the one thing we really are concerned about are his characteristics. Like I said earlier in this video, Dante is probably one of the most best video game characters of all time to me. Dante, his personality is quirky. He's lazy, he's funny, he's comical, he's witty as hell, he's sarcastic. He comes off as being a bit of a smartass and has a nonchalant attitude. all these characteristics are within Dante, and what you would say to yourself, these are characteristics you probably wouldn't want in a good guy, but they're within Dante, which makes Dante kind of cool. He's not your average, you know, he's not your average good guy, you know. He has a bit of an edge to him, a bit of a darkness to him. He's comical, he's witty, he's lazy. He has all these qualities that you would expect out of a bad person, or, you know, pretty much. But he's a good guy, which makes Dante even more cooler because, like I said, it gives him some edge, and he's kind of like he has the personality of a bit of an anti-hero almost. Although he's not anti-hero, he has that qualifications to be one, really. So that's what made him really cool. And from the previews we saw of the new DMC game, it looks like they emulated a little bit of that personality. It did show a little bit of a cocky wittiness in the preview of the game, but we don't know how far his character development will be because, after all, this game is pretty much a reboot that's being revisionized by an American studio. So they could just tweak his character altogether, making it similar to the original Dante, but still making it completely separate and different, which I hope they really don't do, because that was Dante's charm, him being a witty smart-ass and smart-aleck. That was his charm. And so if they do have that, I think that'll be a good thing, because if you look at Dante, even though I'm still kind of iffy with the design, I still have to get used to it. He looks like an average teenage kid, in which I believe they say he's supposed to be 20 years old. So he's a teenage kid, and if you take his look of being a teenage high school kid, and you combine it with the witty, smart-aleck, rebellious kind of like personality that Dante's always had, I think it'll fit and match really well together, because you think about it, in real life, your average teenager is rebellious, a bit of a witty, and a bit of a smart-ass. So if you take those characteristics from Dante in the other films where he was much older, minus Devil May Cry 3 when he was a teenager, and you place those characteristics with the new image of Dante, I think it'll come off really well in terms of kind of being very realistic, and you'll be able to relate to him a little bit more, maybe, just because he is a younger teenager version of Dante in this version, at least, of Devil May Cry, and you'll be able to relate to him more because he's young and he's a bit of a teenager and he comes off as a smart ass. So you can be like, oh, I used to do stuff like that when I was, in high school or whatever. Like I said, even though you still got that idea in Devil May Cry 3 when Dante was a teenager, just still because this game is basically made for a newer audience, pretty much. They want to bring in the original fans as well of Devil May Cry, but they still also want to bring in some new fans who have never heard or never really paid attention to Devil May Cry to give it a try and give it a listen. So for the new fans, they might be able to relate to the character more in that aspect with his characteristics and the new design. So all in all, I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited for Devil May Cry. I mean, I've played the game since day one, from 2001 all the way to Devil May Cry 4 in 08. I'm a big fan of the series. I'm a bit optimistic about the story and the direction of the series as a whole going forward, but I'm going to give it a chance, and the game looks sweet, it looks awesome, visually it looks good, and some of the things looks like it pays homage to the original series, so I'm going to give it a chance, see how it is. The game comes out January 17th or maybe February of next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed back, so it's slated for January, February release. I'm going to check it out, definitely. If they come out with the collector's edition, which I hope they do, I'll be all on that. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a try because I'm a fan of the series. So let me know what you guys think about the new Devil May Cry. If you heard about it, or if you're a fan of the original series, are you gonna just go cold turkey and not gonna even try the new series? Are you gonna try it? Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment box below. Subscribe. Peace.